So Cindy's been getting a lot of requests lately to see more video of her Border Terrier puppy Stella. Stella is 4 months old now, and we decided that that was old enough for her to go on her first bike ride. About a month ago, Cindy got a recumbent bicycle, which is this three-wheeled contraption that you see here. The basket that's on the back of the bicycle is a new addition that Cindy got this week, and she ordered the basket for Stella to ride in. Well, her and Rush go for their daily bike rides. For those of you that don't know, Rush is Cindy's Malinois, and Rush and Cindy usually ride about 3 miles a day on the local bike trail. This is Stella's very first experience with this bicycle. So what Cindy did first was reward Stella by giving her treats just for being around the bicycle. Then she put Stella in the basket and continued to reward her to make being in the basket a positive place for her, where only good things are happening. This rewarding is going to continue through the entire process, so at all times that Stella's around this bicycle, she's continuously fed treats. Most dogs are going to try to jump out of the basket the first time you put them in it. Stella did amazingly well here. We weren't expecting her to stay in the basket right away. Assuming that your dog does not stay in the basket right away, you may want to start by doing this on the ground off of the bicycle. By putting the basket on the ground and rewarding the dog for being around the basket, then rewarding the dog for being in the basket, and then gradually moving up from there and putting the basket closer to the bicycle and then eventually putting it on the bicycle. You can see here Cindy moved up to moving the bicycle the very first time that Stella was ever in it, which is probably not going to happen for most dogs. Most dogs are not going to be as comfortable riding around in a bike as Stella is here, especially on the first time they've ever been in it. This is about 5 minutes after Stella has ever even seen this bike. If you have a dog that is a little bit less comfortable, you're going to want to go slower and spend more time on each process of the training. Maybe spend more time just rewarding around the bike or more time once the basket is on the bike. This is just going to continue to build that trust and prove that the bicycle is a positive place for the dog, because nothing ever bad happens there and the dog continuously gets treats every time that it's in the basket or on the bicycle or even just being around the bicycle.
There you go. Now we gotta get your little strap here.
It's also important not to get too far ahead of yourself, because you never know what part of this is going to make your dog nervous or make your dog want to jump out of the basket. It may be something as simple as hooking up the harness to the leash here. If Stella didn't like that and jumped out of the basket, then we would go back and reinforce being in the basket without it hooked up, being around the bicycle, and just go slower. But like I said before, the progression of this training is based 100% on how the dog reacts to every new thing that's added in. Each new thing being in the basket, being on the bicycle, hooking the harness up to the leash, and eventually moving the bicycle and riding the bicycle.
I'll come back that way.
So as I said, Stella does remarkably well, and she acts like she's ridden in this bike 1,000 times before. She doesn't act like she's never seen this bike or basket before 10 minutes before Cindy gets on it for the first time. Here, Cindy gets on it for the first time, which is a little bit trickier since she's facing forward. Stella is behind her, so she really needs to be conscious of what Stella's doing in the back. That's where having somebody else with you to help and tell you what the dog is doing and help so you know when to give the dog a treat. So this is Stella's first long bike ride, long being down the driveway, which is 100 feet. But that's pretty long for the 10 minutes after starting this.
Should I be brave and
When
try
Cindy
to
says,
ride it just on the driveway?
watch her and make sure nothing happens, keep in mind she is wearing a harness that is strapped in, so even if Stella did jump out of the basket here, she's only going to hang over the side about an inch.
Dang, I can't see what she... Oh, might be nice if I took the brake off. Good girl. As long as I have lots of cookies with me, I think I'll be fine. Go up the
So luckily for us, Stella did outstanding on her first long bike ride, long being down the driveway, so about 100 feet. Stella never once tried to jump out or got nervous at all, and we luckily did not have to see how well that little harness would hold up, dragging Stella off the edge of the basket. Stella did so good, in fact, that the next day Cindy took her down to a remote part of the local bike trail where she knew that she wouldn't run into any other people or any other dogs. She did this so that she didn't have to add another distraction for Stella while going on her first long bike ride, which turned out to be about 1.5 miles.
We turned around. Good.
If anybody has any questions about the basket, where Cindy got this basket, or how to train their dog to do the same thing,
Good job.
feel free to email Cindy at cindyr@leerburg.com and ask whatever questions you may have. And hopefully you'll be out on the bike trail.